I've been with JuicePlus for about 4.5 years. My background is nutrition, and I was trained in that over 15 years ago. So this is definitely the language I speak. So when they asked me to talk about nutrition and the product, I was all in for sure. Who here is relatively new to JuicePlus, whether it's the product or as a rep? Okay, so a lot of relatively new people. So what we're going to do is get into a little bit about nutrition, a little bit about the products, and then a little bit about me and my story and how that kind of comes in together. But I would assume that everybody in this room has bought into the idea that fruits and vegetables are good for you. Yes? Yeah? Okay, so we not every hand was up, but anyway, so, okay. Hopefully by the end I've convinced you that you get it. Before I forget, I'm a rep in Toronto, and there is a Toronto Facebook group for JuicePlus reps. So if you want to go in now or sometime today, look for that. It's called JuicePlus Toronto Reps. Send a request and I'll add you in there because we're trying to build more and more stuff happening in Toronto. And there's a talk in 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks Friday night on healthy skin through natural whole foods. And so I'll actually post that at the end of my presentation. So that is something to look forward to. As I said, I started 4.5 years ago, and I have a science mind. And to the dismay of, Stephen Millman, Nicole Scott, Sean Nisbet and I, when we first started, had hundreds of questions about this product.
Still do.
I still have a few. I actually found my notebook the other day from when I first started, and I flipped through and I'm like, oh my gosh, Susan, you really put them through the ringer, So I want to tell you, I want to save you from all that. It really is as simple as that. It's fruits, veggies, and berries in capsule form. It really is as simple as that. And our job, I believe, is to keep it as simple as that. To be able to help people with that. But I will go into a little bit more about that. So I'm going to start off with nutrition, a little overview of fruits and vegetables. So what do we know fruits and vegetables have in them? Vitamins and minerals, right? Vitamins like vitamin C, minerals, there could be iron in it, magnesium and calcium. What else do fruits and vegetables have in them? Water, right? High water content, and fiber, one of the best sources of fiber on the planet. Right? We really do want to emphasize a plant-based diet, and that's what I'm going to chat with you guys about this morning. But what else do fruits and vegetables have that make them absolutely unique? It is a class of compounds called phytochemicals, literally translated to mean plant nutrients or plant chemicals, okay? This is what makes JuicePlus important. Really, this is what sold me on it. Because I realized it's not about the water, it's not about the fiber. There really isn't that in JuicePlus. There's no fiber in JuicePlus capsules. And it's beyond the vitamins and minerals. So what do we love about JuicePlus, and what is it that actually impacts our health and disease prevention, and why every society, Canadian Cancer Society, Heart and Stroke Foundation, promotes fruits and veggies? Why is it? It's these phytonutrients. Okay, so phytochemicals, or nutrients, are made by the plant, I don't know which side to look at, made by the plant in order to deal with environmental stressors like insects, disease, and adverse weather. So when that broccoli is growing in the field, it has to fight off against the storms and against the bugs and against the bacterial infections in the soil. And it does that not through producing more vitamin C, it does that through producing phytonutrients. And the more it is allowed to do that, the greater the amount of phytonutrition in those vegetables. Meaning, that's why we like plants that are grown without the use of chemicals. Check mark, another reason why Susan Baker could get behind JuicePlus, right? We know it is grown and produced without chemicals. So these fruits and vegetables that JuicePlus sources have some of the highest amounts of phytonutrients in them, which is why we know this product works. Plants produce more of these phytochemicals when allowed to grow in that natural, organic environment, okay? I don't want to, I could talk to you for 3 hours if you really wanted to hang out, but one of the interesting things that's happening right now with organic produce on the market is that it is not a guarantee to be free of pesticides. In fact, at least half of the produce available in stores that's organic is contaminated with pesticides, which is a really sad reality. My husband keeps asking me, why are we buying your organic grapes again if you tell me that they've got pesticides on them? I tell him, we're buying into the industry, Stuart. That's why we're doing it. So phytochemicals equals plant nutrition. You've seen this. Eat the colors of the rainbow, right? You tell your kids this. That is of phytonutrients. Tons of them we don't even know what they do yet. There are little scientists in the labs at all the universities researching these things, right? And so we're starting to find out what they do. This is where disease prevention rests, okay? And so we have studied some of them, so let's have a look. Certain phytonutrients like beta-carotene, you've all heard of beta-carotene, right? Our orange veggies, so we've got sweet potato, squash, carrots present in JuicePlus, check mark, known for immunity and cancer prevention, okay? Something called sulforaphane, so it's a sulfur-containing compound which is found in these cruciferous veggies, you know, the stinky ones? So cauliflower, kale, broccoli, bok choy, right? Present in JuicePlus. We've got kale, you look at the ingredient list. Kale and broccoli in JuicePlus. Reduces cancer risk, inhibits bacterial growth, and great for the liver. Lycopene, you've heard of lycopene, right? Present in high amounts in tomatoes. Red peppers and watermelon, known for heart health, battles prostate cancer. And something called resveratrol, which is very high in grapes and berries. And fights cancer cells and viruses. Now, I just want to point out that these are phytonutrients in general. I'm not suggesting that we can claim any of that for JuicePlus. I think you need to be clear on that, right? So I'm not saying that because there's carrots in JuicePlus, it's, you know, a guarantee for cancer prevention. But this is what these phytonutrients are known to help with when we look at the research. And there's hundreds and thousands more. These are just some that I highlighted. Oh, there's one more there. Quercetin. Onions, leeks, citrus, apples, cranberries, fights disease, heart disease, fights cancer, heart disease, respiratory illness, and allergies. Really well known for allergies. Plants may look the same, but they now have far fewer minerals. I love this graphic. Somebody from our team shared this recently. Thank you. Mary Lisa, I think it was you? No? Okay. This has been circulating around. And this is a great visual, which also tells us how important it is to get good quality fruits and vegetables. That just because you're eating a broccoli doesn't mean it's nutrient dense anymore, because the soil in the world right now is nutrient depleted, just based on how we've been gardening and with agriculture over the decades, to be honest. And so again, it becomes important to know where your food comes from. Has it been grown by farmers who care about the land such that the minerals are rich in the soil? Because your broccoli as a source of calcium is only as good as the soil that it grew in, right? This is another great visual, nutrient loss in our soil. 1953, that's the amount of nutrition in one bowl of spinach. You now have to eat about 43 bowls of spinach to get that same amount of nutrition. Okay, so this is the world we live in. This is the downer part. Phytonutrients and synergy. So what we know about, I've cut my apple up, but you all know what an apple looks like, right? Maybe you brought an apple today. So an apple, again, is beyond just the vitamins and the minerals and the water and the fiber. There's hundreds and thousands of phytonutrients present in an apple, okay? They work together, those nutrients work synergistically in the body to do any number of things, which we're just really learning about. That is entirely different than a multivitamin, right? A multivitamin mineral has a handful, maybe 20 to 30 isolated vitamins and minerals, totally out of context, right? Pulled from their original source, don't know how to work together, and may or may not even be absorbed and used by the body, okay? And this is the shift that's happening even in the natural health care field, where more and more practitioners are moving away from recommending these multivitamin minerals because we know they just don't work, to moving into a whole food supplement, right? And JuicePlus is an example of a whole food product or a whole food supplement, okay? All right. So here we are. What exactly is JuicePlus? Now remember I said it's just fruits, veggies, and berries in a capsule, so you could leave the room and that's all you need to know. But if you're built like me, you like to know the finer details. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. It's a whole food concentrate, okay? It's a fruit and vegetable concentrate. It's grown on mid-sized family farms, including some in Canada. JuicePlus knows all the farmers. They know where the stuff is coming from. I really want someone to ask me to go on a tour with them on one of the farms. I'm just putting that out there, okay? Maybe that's my NMD goal, okay? I get to go on a tour of a farm if I get NMD. I'm taking my friend Melissa Seguin with me. They're non-GMO. That's also huge for us to be able to say that this product is not genetically modified. And I've got a really awesome product update on that front in a second. Vine ripened, picked at the peak of nutritional ripeness, or the peak of their nutrition. So in Canada, we don't get that. You go to the grocery store, your tomatoes are hard, right? The bananas are green. The strawberries are cardboard, right? It's just how it is. Whereas the produce that's picked and put into JuicePlus are allowed to ripen to the point of that peak nutrition. Then they're picked and processed right away, as close to the farm as possible through cold processing, which means they're quick frozen, crushed. The whole plant is crushed. So the peel, the core, the stem, the leaves, it all goes in. And we know that, the example is the orange, that 80 or 90% of the vitamin C in an orange is actually in the peel. And so we get that benefit through what's actually in JuicePlus. The temperature is such at a level that the enzymes are actually retained in the fruits and veggies. That was one of my questions for Nicole Scott when I first started. They're also tested to be free of any measurable or toxic amount of pesticide, E. coli, any kind of toxin. They're vegan and gluten-free. We can say now they're vegan. And it's gluten-free and under high-quality control. So we have this NSF certification and NSF certified for sport. And that's also a big deal. I know from having ordered from other supplement companies that not all supplement companies have the NSF certification. They do not. And so what that means is that when you order JuicePlus and you see, or anything that has the NSF certification on it, what is written on the label is found in the product. And what you take in the product is guaranteed to be on the label, okay? So, which is really important because there's a lot of contamination in the natural health industry with supplements. It's safe for children and pregnant and nursing mothers, and that should say it all in my opinion. Because again, you could walk into a health food store and not be able to come out with a supplement for pregnancy because there are counter interactions. So that's a big one. If you can say to somebody when they ask you, well, I'm on these medications, or I'm not sure what my doctor will say, you can say, well, listen, it's safe for pregnant and nursing women, it's safe for everybody. So that's an overview of what the product is. Here's what goes into JuicePlus with just a couple of changes. And I love this. This is my favorite picture. It's such a great visual to people because most people just can't argue with the fact that everybody would benefit from more fruits and veggies. But it's not about the quantity. I mean, it partly is about the quantity. I would like all of us to be eating 10 veggies a day. I'm sure that's what you do, right? 10 veggies a day. But it's also that we eat the same ones all the time. My kids, like if they eat another green bean, I swear they're gonna turn into green beans, right? We eat the same things all the time. We don't get that variety. Remember the rainbow? That's where health happens, is in the variety of color. And that's where JuicePlus comes in as a solution. So when people say to you, well, how many servings is it? Right? It's one of the questions that you might get. My answer is, you know what? It's not about the number of servings. This is a product that provides you with the rainbow of nutrition that you probably don't get in a week, let alone in a day, right? And that's what I love about it. I also love that all of this goes into the capsules just the same as it goes into the chewables. It's all the same product. So what my kids are getting is what I get, right? So I like that. The other thing I learned from Dr. Du Bois, actually, not only is it that it's highly bioavailable and proven to work at a cellular level, but that these fruits and veggies are actually selected based on how they work together, which is amazing. Quick product updates. They're changing the name. Instead of calling it the Orchard Blend, it's going to Fruit Blend, which is probably what you call it anyway, right? You take the fruit one, the veggie one, and the berry one, so that's awesome. Other ingredient changes. This is excellent. Mango will replace the papaya because papaya is becoming more difficult to find in non-GMO. We know papaya is one of the most genetically modified fruits actually in North America. So this is a really impressive move on the part of JuicePlus. Lemon peel is being added, which is a naturally high source of folate. So they're taking the folic acid out, which is also really progressive because there's a lot of controversy right now around folic acid in the arena of the MTHFR genetic mutation and metabolic disorders and things like that. So that's also huge. Oats are being removed from the veggie capsules and being replaced with additional rice bran. And again, that's just JuicePlus getting ahead of things. Oats are gluten-free, but depending on where you are internationally, it's not always a guarantee. And so they've just decided to just eliminate that controversy, take the oats out, and keep the gluten-free rice in there. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. So I'm also hoping to cover a bit of the research, although I've just been given the timestamp, so I don't think I can do it. But what we know is that food is powerful. It has an impact on the body. And so we know that JuicePlus now has over 38 peer-reviewed and published studies. This is gold standard research. I won't get into what that means. You could always ask me about it later if you really want. Here's what it does. This is what we know it does. JuicePlus is bioavailable. It contributes to cardiovascular wellness. Stand back a bit. Supports immune health, protects the DNA, positively impacts gene expression, reduces oxidative stress, supports healthy skin and gums, healthy inflammatory response, so it balances the immune system. It supports quality of life in cancer survivors, and it supports lung health in smokers. This is what the research shows. This is huge, right? This is very powerful. But here's the truth. You can't feel that stuff happening, right? And so again, your job as a representative of JuicePlus is to convey to people that this stuff matters, right? And it's Dr. Du Bois' quote, and I use this all the time, you can't feel prevention. You can't feel prevention. And it comes down to priorities. Are you willing to put money into a product that is likely helping you prevent disease? You may not feel a thing. You have to be prepared for that as a rep, because we don't promise anything. I felt better after 6 to 8 weeks, but I've got customers who have been ordering for over a year. They still don't feel a thing, or they're just not aware of their body. That's maybe what it is. There's more research underway, about 5 different studies happening right now. One on gut health and a few on disease prevention, which is also really exciting. I need about 5 more minutes, okay? As Stephen mentioned, I wasn't sure if I was going to cover this, but the Children's Health Study is changing to Healthy Starts for Families. We know that the product has an impact on our kids, right? The number one testimonial I get back from families is that their kids are sick less. That's huge. You're buying kids and families days back of their life, right? And that's what the Children's Health Study data has actually shown. Okay, so we're moving into a family health study. Shred 10 program, not going to talk about it. Most of you know about it. It includes all the products. JuicePlus Complete, one of the popular products of JuicePlus. That's a summary of what JuicePlus Complete is all about. Again, non-GMO, vegan, high quality, water-washed soy. I myself am sensitive to soy, period, sensitive to it. This is the only product I can tolerate. So it just goes to show you it's a good quality product. It's gluten-free and it's glycemic balanced. And so there is everything that goes into the combination of these products. Product change I want to show you is that, notice the top right, there's your oat and your papaya. So now it's coming in as mango, replacing the papaya, and more rice bran instead of the oats. Okay, so those are great updates. This, of course, the omegas, I'll just talk really briefly about the omegas, but I loved, at conference, Ali Shepley said it. She says, why wouldn't you offer someone the option you know will give them the best results? Don't make that decision for someone else, right? By saying, oh, they probably just want the 2 blend. Why wouldn't you offer somebody what you know could give them the best benefit? So the JuicePlus omegas, do you want me to cover this? Yes. Okay. Plant-based vegan source. Combination of omega fat. So I like to call it an omega blend. Okay, it's got omega-3 in it, but it's also got 5, 6, 7, and 9. And those are all beneficial to the body. So it's an omega blend. It's a general omega product. Derived from fruits, so the pomegranate seed, raspberry seed, tomato seed, algae, and seed oils. It's cold pressed, cold processed, and is sustainable and environmentally friendly, which is becoming more important because of what's happening with the fish oil industry, and just it's really not sustainable in the long term. So this is really something you can actually be proud about. I understand people are presenting about the Tower Garden later, so that's exciting. I won't talk about that. Just really quickly, a little bit about how I got into it. This is me 4.5, almost 5 years ago with my kids. So Abby was 18 months at the time. She just looks so funny in the helmet. And my Andrew at the time, I don't know, I guess he would have been about 5. And reluctantly, I had to call Nicole Scott after 8 years of actively resisting this product because of the business model. I just did not like that I couldn't go into a health food store and buy this product. I had to get it through a rep. But I had to learn that getting it through a rep would mean I'd get customer care, I'd get included in a community of like-minded people, and that there was something to that. But I had gone to the health food store to look for a veggie product for my kids because my Abby was 18 months old and liked broccoli and mangoes. And I'm like, you are the daughter of a nutritionist, this is not acceptable. And my Andrew, although he was a good eater, I just knew he needed more because he's a child on the autism spectrum. And so his whole world is full of sensory stress. And although he was a decent eater, I just looked at his body and I'm like, you would benefit from more fruits and veggies, not from a multi, right? From the phytonutrients I know are in fruits and veggies. And I'm not gonna juice. And he wouldn't drink the juice anyway. So I called Nicole Scott, I'm like, I'm in, I'm gonna try it out on the kids. Abby loved the gummies, Andrew did not like the gummies, it was a texture thing, and so I had to be really savvy and open up the capsules, put them in a bit of juice with his probiotics and a couple other things, pull it into a plastic syringe, shoot it into his mouth, stuff all over the cupboards, it was a labor of love. Oh, it was just, I'm crying, he's crying, it was a disaster. But probably 3 months later, he just stopped running away from me. He knew Mommy wasn't going away. That was 5 years ago, right? Yeah. So there we are. There's my husband, right. So he would kill me if he knew he was up here in spandex, but he's an avid cyclist. And what we found, because I got Mom and Dad, like myself and my husband, on the capsules so that we could get the kids for free. And within probably 3-4 months, he sort of whispered to me, all right, so there's probably something to this stuff, because he felt better than he ever had as a cyclist, and his rest and recovery after was better than ever. And it's the only supplement he will ever take. I got other stuff there. This makes sense to him. Fruits and veggies in a capsule makes sense to him. And he's the first to go to the capsules if he's starting to feel unwell. But I love this story. So probably about 8 weeks or so after we started, maybe longer, 12 weeks after we started the product with Andrew, I walked into the kitchen one day, and there he was, with the fridge door wide open, black inside, and had long stopped beeping, like it'd been open forever, and sitting at the island with this bag of carrots, raw carrots. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you've never eaten carrots before. And you just went in the fridge and you grabbed that yourself. And he's nonverbal. So he has 0 ways of asking for what he wants or needs. Not even a picture in his system because he didn't like carrots at the point. So we had changed a couple things with his diet and added JuicePlus, and I swear since then, his repertoire has expanded significantly. So after that, it was cucumber, and it was strawberries, And it's just, he's an amazing eater at this point. And for sure, my kids, that's actually a couple years old, they're bigger now, 10 and 6. Probably what we noticed the most was their immune health improved. And so they're sick less, I feel better just knowing that they're on this variety of fruit and veggie. What I didn't know is that Mama needed it. And that's the last thing I'll say, which is that it was probably after 6 to 8 weeks of being on the capsules, I woke up one morning and was like, oh my gosh, I'm not a mess. Like, I feel resilient. I feel like myself again. I'm not being stripped down by the stress in our life. And when you have a child on the autism spectrum, it can be pretty stressful, especially at that age, at 5 years old. Life is way better now. But that's what you offer moms when you get them on the capsules. It's not just about the free product for the kids, it's about getting your life back. What would that feel like for you, right? That meant I was a better mom, I cried less, I was angry less, I was actually nice to my partner, all that stuff. And that doesn't go on the label. You can't guarantee that stuff, right? You just never know what it's gonna do. And I'm gonna end with this. Who benefits from JuicePlus? I heard this 3 years ago at my first conference. Chris Cohen, who's a chiropractic neurologist, and he says, I had to print it, I couldn't get it all on the slide. Who benefits from JuicePlus? Because you all hear this, oh, I'm diabetic, or oh, I'm this, should I take it? He says, disease is a lack of health. It's not something that comes on the body, nor is it something that gets removed. When health is restored, the disease is restored. JuicePlus is real whole foods. We don't know, what that's going to do in the body. So should the following people eat fruits and veggies? Diabetics, yes. Cancer patients, yes. Heart attack victims, yes. Neurological problems, MS, yes. Overweight, sluggish bowels, inflammation, fast bowels, muscle sprain, broken bone, headaches, hangnail on the toe, yes. Can anyone actually think of a person who should not eat more fruits, veggies, and berries? I can't either. So who can safely be on JuicePlus? Everyone. And he says, JuicePlus builds health, eat it daily. And that's all there is to it. I love that. And that brings me to the end. So thank you for listening.